Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of doing Kiyoko's route. And if you're watching this video, don't watch this video. I don't know if I should say that, but go back and watch the first part, because this is just building off of like the speedrun Kiyoko route. And I think, yeah, there we go, slot 14 we were saved on. Anyway, this
We're
is...
finished!
Oh, we are finished. That's the note we ended on last time. Anyway, we're just gonna try to get through this real quick. Any new dialogue we'll go through, but the dialogue that's like the color is faded, we're just gonna skip through that. So let's begin with the regrettable make Naomi not like us romantically route. Here we go. Kiyoko, tossing her pencil aside, finishes jotting down the results from our experiment.
There's no anomalous data either. We did really good.
Go us?
Yeah, go us.
From my discussion with Naomi, seeing her like this truly puts the meaning of their happiness into perspective. Undoubtedly, Kiyoko is hurt over the bonds she once held with Naomi, but it'd be hard to call her sad in this situation. For me to be so ingrained into the lives of these two girls in only a mere 5 days, it feels weird, but anything else will feel weirder. It's just something I'll have to accept. Being here, though, is something I truly do desire. There's a lot more behind the covers that need to be addressed before we can move forward. The two of them, trapped by their own memories of one another. My place in this, despite unclear, will soon be revealed as the two of them begin to open their hearts as soon as I can heal their bonds. As I watch Kiyoko tidy up the equipment, all I can do is smile. If there's one thing I can say, it's that I truly am glad I've gotten to know her. You need any help?
It's okay. You don't need to do anything. Really. Just being a member makes me happy.
Hearing that from her, a girl I'd once assumed to be reserved and shy, it's truly a sign of how fast things can change, how we appreciate one another. I couldn't ask for anything else. This is going to be so weird if it gives us an option to choose between her and Naomi at the end, because it did when we did the Naomi route. Like, I don't know if I can actually go through with it. Like, I'll have to inject myself with beaver tranquilizers to even do that. Oh look, Act 2. Epic. Alright, we've already read this as evident by the blanked out text. Skipperoonie. Oh look, new text. Bottom text, top text. That's a funny meme, if you didn't know. Anyway, moving on. Bearing witness to Kiyoko's inner sadness, her sacred history, not wanting to be there for her would ultimately be wrong. From joining the science club, the cheerful smile I've gotten to know is one I want to protect, even if it's from herself. Fixing her past with Naomi to get them to understand one another, it's not going to be easy. Still, for Kiyoko, being able to bring her happiness should be enough in return for what she's given me. Sincerity. That and a friend. After only a couple of days, it's weird enough to say she means a lot to me, but I don't see it any differently. Alright. Here we go. This is a flashback. Naomi saying, please, I want you to help me. I'd rather just stick to this bun, thanks.
Not these. These are mine. I want you to help with Kiyoko.
Alright, now back to new stuff. Looking back on the day's events, the emotions flowing from Naomi's eyes was enough to sell her sincerity. A lonely girl, someone out of place. Maybe I'd misjudged her, coming to me for help. It really goes to show how much she cares about Kiyoko. Alright, we've already seen this text. I should probably call Kiyoko. Sliding my hand down my pocket, my fingers clutch tightly at my phone in lieu of the usual symptoms of nervousness. It's not like there's anything to worry about. Despite not knowing Kiyoko for long, it's hard to say I'm not on good terms enough to call her. Inviting her out, though, that, of course, is something different. The strong heartbeat piercing through my chest is enough to make that apparent. All I can do is embrace the chance of my own breath against the choir, I was going to say choir, of daily life in motion beyond the glass pane before me. In indecipherable melody. That was a very intimidating word. If it'll make her happy, If it'll make them happy, I have to do this. What with tomorrow being Saturday, it wouldn't be odd for two friends to hang out together. I might not be as smart as Kiyoko, but for me, overthinking things isn't much of an issue. Focusing on the screen before me, my eyes stay glued on the call button. Now's the time to do this. If I don't call her, all I'd be doing is wasting my time procrastinating. Whatever she's up to, I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to me. Oh, look at that. Just gonna save this, you never know. Let's just see what happens if we call Naomi. That'd be pretty epic. Oh, wait. Okay, so that was a test, and the number is blanked out. Or not the number, the words. Meaning we've already gone that path. So let's go load it back up. Call Kiyoko this time. New text. There we go. Lifting my finger away from the screen, ringing meets my ears as my phone lightly touches the tip of my ear, brushing hair aside. The resonance of my own breathing soon to be greeted in sync with the light puffs from Kiyoko on the other end of the line. An oddly cute sound, but it's not as if it's the only thing strange about her, strange enough to keep me captivated. Naomi still retains strong feelings towards Kiyoko. All I have to do is find out what she thinks in return. Hard to do, knowing she's probably sitting there with an adorable grin waiting for me to speak up.
Hello.
Kiyoko opens with her typical enthusiastic demeanor. Maybe my guess from before wasn't too far off. Hey, Kiyoko. As far as an awkward greeting goes, I could at least do worse than that.
Have you finally decided what your favorite element is?
It's, clay. But really, that's not important.
What?
I really like Clay Aiken. Maybe calling science unimportant wasn't a great idea in hindsight.
Clay isn't an element. It's a mineral. You uninformed individual.
She just called us dumb. Unlike Naomi, Kiyoko doesn't seem to want to go as far as calling me an idiot. Coming from her, though, it wouldn't be an inappropriate thing to say. She's on another level. Well, you'll have to give me a few lessons next time. From what I recall, all they do in class is teach us kids stuff.
But they do.
Granted, to her, it really could be called kids stuff. Having topped prefectural test numerous times, I'd be surprised if she actually learned anything by going to school. In a way, I feel sorry for her. It really must be boring. But in the end, maybe that's why she formed the science club. All I can do is feel slightly better knowing that I'm a part of her idea of fun. Kiyoko's breathing makes its way through the line, her sounds resting against my ear. She sounds nervous.
Anyway, what are you doing tomorrow?
Me?
This isn't a group call, you know.
Shockingly enough, the same question has been on both of our minds, her voice still timid, contrasting what I've known as her usual self. At times like these, maybe I'm learning more about the true Kiyoko. Having met her in the science club, it's not too far off to suggest that she was in fact lonely. Ever since she left Naomi. I'm not up to anything.
That's great. It really is. I mean, that's great.
Aside from her shift in enthusiasm, it's not as if there's a difference. Why's that? Are you planning on roping me into some sort of experiment you can't do at school?
No, it's not that. But that's a nice idea. They don't let me bring in the stuff with the red labels on.
Yeah, it'd be bad if they had your personal safety at heart.
It's fine. I'm an adult. At least in England.
But this isn't England, let alone Wales. From what I've heard, there's a fancy school in Tokyo that teaches their curriculum.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah. That's a Sounds of Her Love reference there.
Anyway, you're free to go to the city tomorrow, right? I'm supposed to meet someone.
Ooh. I'm free, but that sounds like something you do on your own. Who are you supposed to be meeting?
A friend, at least. I've spoken to her online a bit, and she wants to join the club. We can go shopping for supplies for the club, too.
Passion seeps from her words as they graciously resonate out of the device placed snugly against my ear. Almost as if she's here now, raising her hands up enthusiastically as she radiates a whimsical sense of cheerfulness. After our talk about Naomi, I've come to know she can't always be this happy. In fact, she really isn't. A friend? I'm guessing she's in one of the classes. And you haven't met her in person yet?
About that. It's not important. What's important is that you're coming, right?
If she really did have another friend at school, I think I would know about it. More so, Naomi too. Trying to hide it is suspicious enough, but really, I couldn't care all that much. Rather, I'm glad that she hadn't been without one after the incident with the track team. Knowing she wasn't alone, it's relieving. Alright, I'll go. Where do you want to meet?
There's a cafe next to the station. You can't miss it. It's really popular. Anyway, I have to go. Just be sure to be there.
She must have to leave for dinner. That's usually the reason anyway. And be sure to attend the club on Monday too, right?
That's right.
Her characteristic, elevated voice seeps out from beside my ear, with the cool glass of the phone screen lightly brushing against the fine strands of hair upon the side of my head. It's a sound I can't say I wouldn't be happy to listen to. It just goes to show how quick we've become friends. I'll see you tomorrow then, Kiyoko.
I'll see you tomorrow too.
The line falls silent, all without the traditional pair of goodbyes. It's not like we need them. The two of us, having grown a somewhat abnormal but cherishable friendship, funny for someone I only really began knowing at the start of this week. Knowing that, it makes the situation upon me an even harder challenge to fix the broken bonds between two girls without really having a grasp of who they are themselves. Choosing to spend time with the two of them really can't be that bad of an idea after all. Reaching out towards my desk, phone still in hand, small vibrations chime out from within my hands, enough to startle me. Turning the screen towards me, the display catches the evening sunlight glaring in the midst of the dusty air. Looking towards it, what's before my eyes isn't much of a surprise. As much intellect as she has, she still leaves out one of the most important parts. For you SoundCloud listeners, it says, "I forgot, meet me at 10, from Kiyoko." Regardless, she wouldn't be such an interesting person if she was that perfect. In a way, her little quirks and features are what truly makes her cute. I wonder if Kiyoko's so-called friend is going to be Carrie, because it seems like with Naomi, we had that little three-way date with Sai, if you remember from all those episodes ago, and then we only met Carrie at the end for like one scene. I wonder if it's going to flip-flop, where Carrie gets the amount of screen time that Sai did, and then it's going to do a little flipperoo. That's going to be my guess. We'll see if I'm right. Peering up from my phone screen, the morning sun blinds my now lifted eyes as they're caught in the midst of its light. The weather couldn't be more apt for the situation. It's ideal to have a nice day on what will most likely be a nice day. Having agreed to meet Kiyoko in town, it's a newfound contrast to my typical schedule for the weekend. If it wasn't for this, I'd probably be asleep right now. Getting invited to spend the day with a girl that I'm only just getting to know is quite an atypical experience. You wouldn't expect it to happen, outside of romance novels that is. Still, there's an issue on both of our minds that I want to address, for her, mine, and Naomi's sake. Letting them harbor those feelings isn't what I want to allow myself to do. Passing down the busy urban streets, my eyes dart around looking to spot our agreed rendezvous point. As the urban environment continues to change and adapt, it might be rather difficult to locate where this cafe really is. If it's right next to the station, hopefully I'll find it enough. In light of what might actually happen, spending time with Kiyoko all amounts to progress. building that friendship, allowing us to reach the answers we desire in the future. It'll be easier for her to talk about an issue as deep as her relationship with Naomi. Alongside that, I'll finally find out who exactly this so-called friend Kiyoko is supposedly going to be meeting. Honestly, I feel kind of guilty that the fact had surprised me at first, but considering Naomi hadn't let off that possibility of Kiyoko knowing anyone else, it's still a little jarring. Speaking to people online as opposed to roping in classmates just goes to show that the rumors surrounding her have taken a toll on her social life at school. In a way, I feel sorry for her. Shifting my eyes across the metropolitan span of high-rise buildings and the populated yet pedestrianized expanse, I catch a glimpse of the very cafe Kiyoko was probably on about. Considering it's the only one so close to the station for her to claim you can't miss it, it'd be safe to say that this is the right one. Selling itself on its modern aesthetic, panes of glass catch the sun against the archaic concrete landscape around it. Nevertheless, it does seem like a rather tranquil place for a coffee, from this distance at least. Moving my way through the bustling crowds of the city center, I watch people live out their Saturday morning. The sounds of civilization brush against the eardrums of each individual within its grasp. Having been dealt a lot to think about the relationship between Kiyoko, Naomi, and even myself, finding myself lost in thought is a hard thing to avoid. Walking over to the cafe only heightens those feelings. Ho ho ho, I was right. Who was right? This little Markop, this little Sue. Oh yeah, celebratory water break. Man, that was a very long monologue. Or
New
like
studies available on Prolific.
new prolific studies, guys. That was a very long inner monologue thought thing. I didn't even stutter that much, and I didn't misread too many words. I think that was pretty good. Deserving of a like, I would say. Okay, back to the story. Despite it being a Saturday, outside stands a girl adorned in our uniform, her slick golden hair flowing down gracefully as a set of braids only rocked by a passing breeze. Given her pale complexion and her aloof aura, she doesn't seem to be a local, which only further serves to spark my curiosity. It's not like our school is anything special, even the city itself, enough to spark an interest to a foreign family. Maybe she's from Tokyo. Ignoring her presence for now, I continue on with my search for Kiyoko. Since the interior of the cafe itself is pretty visible from the outside, it's clear enough that she hasn't arrived yet. Or at least, I'm missing something here. Despite seeming like a shy girl, Kiyoko isn't one to make her presence unknown. Not to me at least. If she was here, I'm sure she'd make that obvious to me the second I stepped within her view. Most likely she's late, but it's not like I can really blame her for that. Perhaps it wouldn't be such a bad idea to talk to this foreign student, whose eyes are now eerily pointed in my direction. Relying upon Kiyoko's undeserved infamy, it wouldn't be a bad shot for a starting point. Dude. Ho ho, we're approaching her. Of course. At the end of the day, all it comes down to is the fact that Kiyoko isn't here. Her empathetic passion for the way she conveys just about anything is strikingly absent. I wouldn't be surprised if she'd wandered off into one of the nearby shops scattered around the city center. Given the details of our talk about Naomi, maybe that in itself had rung up a sense of nervousness within her that I'd approach that topic again. For Kiyoko, as far as I've known her, it's something that wouldn't be fitting at first glance. Yet the distant look she still held in her eyes during the course of that conversation is enough empirical evidence to show that her dwindled friendship with Naomi still affects her. She still cares. Set out on this fact, I move on towards the stranger, still peering on towards me with a flustered expression. I'd ignore the fact that she might know me, certainly if she does attend our school. Hey, excuse me. Did you happen to see a girl around here with brown hair and glasses? She's kind of short. I say that because despite Kiyoko seeming to be at least average in stature compared to me and even the girl before me, she's definitely short. Even for a Westerner, the frail girl before my eyes is pretty well built. Nice. More than just her height, to say the least.
What?
Despite at least appearing to be a foreigner, she responds in surprisingly perfect Japanese. Nani?
Do you mean Kiyoko?
Responding timidly with a question of her own, it's no surprise that she knows who she is. Granted, it would be even less surprising to hear more about the other Kiyoko or Kiyokos enrolled alongside us. But the fact is there's only one I'm supposed to be meeting here at this time. You know her? Great! Have you seen her around?
She's supposed to be meeting me here.
Surprise! It's me.
You know, you're not supposed to say that when covering someone's eyes, right?
I know. Thought I'd change things up a little. Science is all about variables, after all.
I don't think that science applies much to our scenario, but I'm willing to go along with it. Well, you sure surprised me.
That was the point.
The braided girl looks upon us with a cute but still somehow strange laugh given the situation. I still don't know who she really is, but I can only guess that this is the girl Kiyoko's been speaking with online.
So, this is him.
She's been talking about me?
Why wouldn't I? You're a member of the club.
Maybe because I'm the only member too, barring herself of course. And what about...
Oh, right. I forgot. This is Carrie.
Look at that. Look at our encyclopedia. That was the last thing. That's epic. Caradwin, Carrie Irwood, birthday September 3rd. And her voice actress is Amber Burrill, who also voices Naomi. Fun fact for all of you playing at home. Carrie is what you'd call the stereotypical library girl, although you probably shouldn't say that to her face. As a keen fan of books, music, and everything that doesn't involve extensive communication, she keeps a lot of things to herself, besides her expressions of emotion that is. Roped into the antics of the science club, Carrie cares a lot for her friends. Unfortunately for you, she's already taken. And yes, going to the library does count as a date. Carrie stars in her own visual novel, Sounds of Her Love. Well, look at that. It all exists in the same universe. Gotta love that. That's awesome. We did our encyclopedia. All finished. Every last entry. That's epic. Now we just need to get that, the photo album filled up. I think we have like 2 or 3 left. Anyway, this is Carrie, says Kiyoko.
It's nice to meet you.
Same here. I haven't seen you around though. What class are you in? For someone Kiyoko has only spoken to online, it's hard to think that the two have never spoken at school. Even if she isn't one to go out of her way to speak to people, once she does, she sure is energetic about it.
I'm not.
No need to worry about that. I asked something so trivial.
Isn't science about asking questions?
Kiyoko, you should.
Nonsense. Bleep. I guess you're right. Anyway, Carrie, just ignore him for now. You're joining the club, right?
Kiyoko's voice continues to fill with a distinct sense of nervousness alongside her companion, who continues to peer towards me with embarrassment, stretching from one cheek to another in the form of a rosy red blush. Considering this is apparently Kiyoko's first meeting in person with Carrie, she continues to act with unwavering nonchalance. At least when she isn't trying to dodge my inquisitions. She doesn't go to her school, does she?
About that.
That's right.
That's right. She's here to join the science club.
I'm not.
Here, as in the middle of the city? Not, you know, at the club room where we would be if she was really joining the club. Why are you going as far as recruiting members who don't even enroll with us?
But she said she'd join.
Her prior expression, one tainted with a pang of anxiety despite stemming from her usual upbeat self, has now shifted into what is either a genuine or mock pout. At this point, I can't really tell. Nobody has really shown much interest in the club. Even I couldn't say I was too interested at first. Yet here I am.
You didn't want to join.
Kiyoko's eyes shift between Carrie's and mine, filled with an increasing look of woe. It's clear that she's at least a little upset, no matter how much she exaggerates it. Kiyoko, what with her intellect, clearly has a reasonable sense of judgment, somewhere within her at least. She, as with anyone, would know that getting someone outside of school to join the club would be impossible. Standing here, I can't help but gaze upon the conversation before me. Both girls, embraced by the looming midday sun, trying their hardest to resolve what really was a non-issue from the beginning.
That's not what
Carrie, right? What exactly did you tell her? Peering away from Kiyoko's incessive pouting, Carrie shifts her attention towards me with an oddly fitting blush, despite only being introduced moments ago. With a shade of crimson resting upon her cheeks, I can't help but be reminded of the difference between her and Kiyoko's personality. Such a difference really puts into perspective how contrasting Naomi and Kiyoko are too, yet the wonder of their friendship still existed. It's something I'd like to know.
I said I'd love to if I went to your school.
But you don't. She made you wear that, right?
Hey, you're saying that as if it's a bad thing. Frankly, I think it looks good on her.
What about the lab coat?
That's a great idea. We'll have to get her one.
Albeit fun, playing along with Kiyoko's jokes is far from fair on the perturbed girl standing between us.
Please,
I can't continue to idle on as the sheepish girl before me looks ever distraught at Kiyoko's usual self. That and, well, we'll be here all day otherwise. Kiyoko, it's not really a nice thing to force someone to wear something they didn't want to.
But
Her pout continues to deepen further. I can't help but feel that this is her idea of fun outside the lab, experimenting on her friends instead.
okay, I'm sorry. That's what you wanted, right?
Man, Kiyoko seems kind of messed up, like, personality-wise. I mean, like, sure, Naomi calls us an idiot, and she's a huge tsundere, but, like, at the same time, like, I think that's a lot better than Kiyoko. Anyway, this is the Kiyoko route, so I guess I'm not allowed to bash her. Let's continue. Good enough. I'm proud of you. As half-assed as her apology was, dwelling on the situation will only serve to tire me out. Having two girls before me, their hair blowing in a warm spring breeze out in the urban landscape, all I want to do now is continue on with what we are supposed to be doing. A coffee with two cute girls to show for it. Now, let's go inside, right? Lifting her arms up, a motion filled with excitement, Kiyoko leads us on as we make our way inside two new friends and a stranger. Pausing my feet inches away from the door, a light tug strikes against my sleeve, all to be accompanied by a faint blush present on the girl's cheeks.
thank you.
Kiyoko sure knows how to pick her friends. Transition. Hitting the panes behind me, the looming afternoon sun sweeps in through the glass, meeting the trio of us converged around this small coffee table. Time, of course, has passed on. Kiyoko and Carrie sitting together, chatting. I can't help but feel that somehow a similar scenario would have occurred with Naomi in Carrie's shoes. That's This dialogue didn't appear, like it didn't say, oh, I bet this would have happened with Kiyoko. So I wonder if the game like knows this is our second time playing through. If it is, like that's pretty epic that it like detects that. But if not, then it's not epic. So anyway, that adds nothing of value to this. If she were here, I wonder what she'd think. Naomi, a girl seemingly driven on conviction, yet still so sensitive inside. Brushing her bangs aside, Kiyoko parts the silky strands of her hair, lifting up her cup to another negligible sip of her latte. Compared to the bundle of sodas she'd presented me before, watching her drink away as her small lips press against the white ceramic really makes her look sophisticated. As opposed to the usual childness I'd become used to expecting.
It's getting late.
Besides, I'm glad that she's not totally alone.
Hi, we're supposed to go shopping today.
Surprise, or even shock, coats Kiyoko's face as she looks onwards towards me, breaking me away from her trance.
I need to go too. I'm supposed to be having dinner with someone.
His name's Markapi. An alternate universe Markapi.
Really? You're not coming with us. But we're like the triple bond in nitrogen.
I can't really say I agree. Carrie doesn't seem like a bad person, but I can't say I had much of a place in their conversations.
I'm sorry, Kiyoko. I have to go.
Well, promise you'll come again.
Kiyoko.
It was nice meeting you like this. I'll see you again soon, right?
That's right. I'll see you again too.
Leaving Kiyoko with a faint smile, the braided girl turns her strikingly beautiful face towards me with a look of uneasy embarrassment. Seeing her this close, I can agree with Kiyoko that I'd like to see her again too.
Bye.
See you. But given her wariness towards me, I can't really tell if she feels the same. Now alone with Kiyoko, the two of us continue taking brief sips of our drinks, embraced by the silence. For the first time, I'm actually alone in the city with a girl. Now, if any, would be a good time to make conversation.
I want you to change her opinion of me, so she'll talk again.
That, in reality, is harder than it seems. Nevertheless, I can't help but try to make them happy with each other. Fidgeting with her hands, Kiyoko's eyes shyly peek up towards me, anticipating something to break the ice. Do you normally go to town with friends like this? Despite having only met Carrie in person for the first time, the question itself invites deeper discussion into Kiyoko's social life. One which has been in turmoil ever since she was kicked out of the track team. Naomi, realizing the result of her actions. Her cheeks atypically redden, an odd sight to see on Kiyoko's now puffed cheeks.
What do you mean?
It's alright. Never mind. Forcing her to answer is really just as hard as asking the question itself.
I used to go with Naomi, but things didn't really work out.
Now met with saddened eyes, all I can do is trail away from the topic to keep things easy for her. Even if she holds those feelings, the regret inside of her, pushing her towards her past in spite of the future isn't something I'd like to put pressure on. In time, piece by piece, I'll learn more about the world which once engrossed their lives. I see.
Anyway, I'm feeling pretty tired. We can leave for shopping another day. I don't want to bore you. I really had fun today. I wouldn't want to ruin it.
It's not like she would. Disregarding my lack of scientific knowledge, spending time together is just as fun for me as it is for her. You wouldn't ruin it. After all, this is the science club, right? Even more so, you're a friend.
Thank you.
Seemingly calmer than usual, than her usual quirky self, Kiyoko settles with an all-too-cute smile in return. It really suits her.
Anyway, we're going to miss the train. Come on, let's go.
Remarkably, Kiyoko takes hold of my hand, our skin meeting together with a warmth. With nothing but a small tug, Kiyoko looks upon me with a rosy blush before softly dropping her hands to the side in realization. We wouldn't want to have to wait, right?
Right.
Boom, skip that. Skip this, because it's all blacked out, or grayed out, I guess you would say. Lean my neck backwards against the hard wooden chair behind my back. One of many actions as my body now lays sunken down further towards the floor in boredom. Yesterday's events, our little cafe visit, all seem like a far distant dream as the evening lights hit my eyes, forcing them to close. I can't deny the fact that Kiyoko's pretty cute in a casual getup, but it's not like it makes much of a difference to how she normally looks. My mind continues to drift, slowly filling with thoughts of Kiyoko, her cheery smile as she idly chatted away, and the sullen eye she carried as she reminisced the events of her past. Those feelings. I didn't know I cared about Kiyoko that much, but to know those thoughts exist inside her, the thoughts of regret, it can only spur me on more. As for her friend, Carrie, all I can say is that she was pretty cute too. Nice. For an average high school lad, I can't say that seeing more of her would be a bad thing, though Kiyoko's actions were pretty reckless.
You really have a lot going on, don't you?
What do you mean? You're a lot more talented than me. You're smart and...
I didn't mean it like that.
Do you get drunk off coffee or something?
New studies available on Prolific.
Why would I? Coffee doesn't contain ethanol. But it does contain hydroxyl groups, I guess.
That was one hell of a day. Regardless, the feelings inside me now all lead me in the same direction, each one wanting the same thing. I want to learn more about her. Kiyoko, a reserved and shy girl to any bystander, smashes each and every cliché to bits as she lives on in her world of eccentricity, one which hides her inner sadness. She used to be on the same athletics team. She used to be friends with Naomi. It's that past that I want to know, a past she needs to come to terms with. Maybe in a way, Naomi can help with that. Boom, we've read this because it's blanked out. Boom, boom. Call someone. Save just in case I call the wrong person and I get the same dialogue. Call Naomi, because I assume that's the one we did last time. And it is, in fact, the one we did last time. So we're going to load back up. Boom. Just like that. Do the choice we didn't do last time. Call Kiyoko. Epic. Not epic. I mean, I don't want to do this, but this is for the sake of the story. As if beckoning me, Kiyoko's name stands out brightly on the screen before my eyes, urging me to give her a call. Whether it's her cute and chirpy aura, or even her adorable face, I couldn't care. What really matters is that she's my friend, and from joining the science club, it's clearer to me than ever that she's in pain. Pain by her past with Naomi. In order to truly crack this puzzle, I need to understand that past. I need her to open up to me. Man, I just mucked those last few sentences. After all the hesitance, she carries is okay, that's not on me. That's the actual game. This is the sentence. After all, the hesitance she carries is only reflected by herself. I feel like there should be a comma or something there. That just it's kind of weird. The mirage surrounding her judgment. Oh man. This is we're nearing the end of the episode, I can tell. Naomi spearheading the operation to become friends with her again only carries her own doubts, but for that to really happen, I need Kiyoko to trust her, to trust me. It's only natural to get her to understand Naomi's position, especially when she couldn't do it herself. Having spent time with her yesterday, it's clear enough that Kiyoko still harbors feelings towards Naomi. As faint as that response was, teary eyes and stuttered words, it's not like they're not there. All she needs is more time to accept them. Continuing to listen to the ringtone as impatience builds up inside me in the form of a heightened pulse and a mild sweat, all I can do is hope Kiyoko picks up the line. Whether it's the responsibility or the fact I'm once again calling a girl in what could be described as a rare moment in my life, I'm nervous. The sound soon quickly fades into breathing, short and raspy, somehow filled with timidity. Hey, Kiyoko, you alright?
Yes, I'm fine. Hey!
You're supposed to say hey at the start of the greeting, you know?
Of course I do. I was just experimenting. That's what scientists do. Anyway, why did you call? Did you get an idea for an experiment?
Her voice beams with excitement, as if the idea of science was one of her kinks, even though it probably is. Disregarding the weird thoughts, Kiyoko clearly has a history of cherishing her friends, from her history with Naomi to me, the first and only recruit to the science club. It's not strange to think that she'd hold that with importance, all the more reason to get closer to her. Why would I?
Because I thought you were fun. Though, you don't seem too keen on science. I'll have to teach you harder.
As if her passion itself had seeped through the line, my cheeks rise in a smile as I realize that she hasn't actually taught me, well, anything. Besides, it's not like I'm in the club for the science, disregarding the fact that she'd forced me to join with her cute, bewitching nature at this point. I'm here because I'm her friend. Even if she was about to burst into tears if I refused, I like her. How about teaching me after school tomorrow then?
Isn't that the point? We're not holding the club during lunch. I'd get hungry.
That's not what I'm suggesting. Though lunch with Kiyoko wouldn't actually be that bad, I'd enjoy it. You know, as scientists, we have to do field work sometimes, right? Getting her out of the lab would probably give me a better chance to segue into their relationship, otherwise she'd get distracted. It's not like I don't want her to have fun, but I'd probably be safer away from all the Bunsen burners and weird chemicals she'd have up her sleeve.
That's a great idea. I've always wanted to try out my portable science kit. Well, I got it for Christmas when I was 8, but it still works, right?
I don't think a kid's toy would be all that scientifically accurate. And you haven't used it in the past 10 years?
Why would I when there's a lab at home?
Whoever bought her that present, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I guess that's sorted then.
We don't have any chemicals to do stuff at school anyway. How about we go buy some too?
Sure. Another venture to the city doesn't sound like a bad idea. Moreover, I like spending time with her outside of school. I could still question the legality of buying this sort of stuff off the street, but I trust her enough not to cause any trouble.
It's fine. I do this all the time. It's as easy as buying chocolate.
Last time I checked, she hadn't invented the machine which could give her telepathic powers.
It's a pill, actually.
What?
Sorry, I was talking to my parents. Anyway, I have to go.
That's fine. I'll see you tomorrow then, Kiyoko. Maybe it'd be nice to speak with her for a little longer.
I'll see you tomorrow, too.
With the fall of silence, I'm left with my phone pressed against my ear as I once again look onwards out the window towards a vivid spring evening. At the end of the day, speaking with her had really cleared my mind of what I now need to know. That bright and happy voice, all of it's a cover, masking the worries piercing her heart. Even if it's hard, I have to bring up her relationship with Naomi. I have to try. Sliding my hand through my hair, all I can do is relax as I sit before my trepid reflection on my computer screen. Looking down, my phone's screen remains on my contacts, Kiyoko's face standing out as she looks on with the same carefree smile I'm so used to seeing.
you a picture later so you can add me to yours.
Epic. Her chocolate eyes glistening in the sunlight above her rosy cheeks as her peachy lips beam brightly in a smile. Seeing her like this, it's hard to think anyone would have a problem with her. Those rumors, the word they uttered behind her back, cheater. I now know what that all means. As cute as she is, it's even stranger to think how important she really has become to me. With her face still lingering on my mind, I rest my phone upon my desk once again, letting out only but a small yawn as the amber sky before me quickly grows a deep shade of blue. I guess it's time to get some rest. A long day ahead, a long challenge, but I can still remain happy, knowing I get to see her once again. Kiyoko. Alright, I'm going to call it there. I thought that even though it's like a different route, I thought there'd be a lot more overlap. So I hope I can finish this next episode. I know I said that last episode. No promises, we'll see. This might be a 4-parter. But gosh darn, there's a whole lot of content here. Anyway, go ahead. Do me 4 favors. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and as always, help me find a girlfriend. And before I say bye-bye, let's skip this just so when I come back. There we go. Now that will be the first thing I see. Well, we're right now save slots. I was gonna say slave. Oh no, I gotta go. Goodbye.